What is fashion design? I mean, we all have different definitions of fashion because we are all humans and then we perceive things differently. Everyone has their own definition of fashion. Fashion is the art of applying design aesthetic into clothing and its accessories. But then culture and social attitude plays a big role in fashion, which makes it evolve with time. So if people are going to wear Ankara suits in Ghana because they love the Ankara fabric, this other guy in Cape Town is it's freezing, it's very cold here. This British wool tweed jacket will do a big favor for him by making him feel warm. So the same way that time and season evolves, and the same way that the weather and all those other factors come in, is the same way that fashion evolves. So as humans, we all have our own different perceptives or perceptions about fashion. So now, I'd like to also highlight on something that is very, very important to me. In order to be successful in the business of fashion design, we need to understand that connecting fashion to humanity is very, very important. Now, you cannot suggest a design for a client uh, because you feel like that design looks good. I mean, for me personally, I feel like being able to create a relationship between the piece of clothing and the wearer is very, very important. That should be one of the key things in fashion because you cannot just go on designing clothes. The business of fashion is one which you have to exchange a service to get money in return. So you might as well want to understand what your client wants before you go on designing for him. So there are some designers that are overly creative and go all out doing art and all that stuff, and then they forget that in order to make money out of fashion, you need to meet the needs of humans, which means that the banker is going to wear suits, the pastor is going to wear suits, the artist is going to wear suits differently. So you need to understand that in order to make money from fashion, you should be able to meet the daily needs of people. To be successful in fashion design, you need to understand that the relationship between the clothing and the wearer is very important, which brings me to complexion. Yes, you want to be able to design outfits for people, but you would agree with me that these two guys and these two outfits are popping off differently because complexion played a key role here. So this is my collection I unveiled in Cape Town in July at the South Africa Menswear Fashion Week. And then this is burgundy, and this is burgundy as well. But you can see the way I played with these two designs, and I also reflected the beauty playing with their complexion as well. This particular piece came off looking this nice because I understood that this guy is dark skinned, and then, of course, he sprayed his hair. So this hair complements the lapel of this suit, or should I say tux. And then this whole burgundy on this part pops off this way because it's dark skinned. The same design, the same colors, but different cuts. And then you can see the way this other one came off looking because he's light skinned. So in order for us to be able to create pieces for people or individuals every day, there are factors we are supposed to consider. One of which is complexion, and I just explained how that can work. And then another key point I'd like to talk about would be physique. You need to be able to understand that what works on a fat person isn't going to work on a skinny person. If you give this young man the tuxedo that this guy was able to pull off, it would look funny on him, which is where the uniqueness of fashion comes in for me. And that's why I enjoy what I do. For me, serving or meeting the needs of people, in as much as people understand that I'm a fashion designer, I like to stress on the relationship. So I need to see you, I'd identify your complexion, I'd identify your physique before I create a piece of clothing for you. You need to understand that job description is key. There are different people in the society. So you need to understand that what a musician is going to want to wear is going to be very different from what a businessman is going to wear. You see the way he pulled off this three-piece Italian cashmere suit? Ricazani, an artist, would want something that would pop off differently. So he would want something that would, you know, go in with his line of music and the fact that he wants to grab all the attention that he can get. So a suit like this, which I call a meta monochrome suit, would pop off really good for a musician. So you can understand that everyone has their own needs to be met in different ways. So if you're a fashion designer and you understand that these key points, complexion, physique, job description, are the key points you need to understand as you try to build a brand for yourself and an empire, then I think you've done 60% of the job. Confidence for me is very, very important. Confidence is where the beauty of the Jason Porsche brand lies. So as a designer, you should be able to exude all that into your brand in order to be successful. Not just for yourself, but for your clients. If your clients are confident about what they're wearing, then you're doing a very, very good job. Authenticity. How does authenticity apply into fashion design? As we strive to create a brand that would stand the test of time and come out everywhere around the world boldly, it's very important for us to be able to carve a niche for ourselves or our brands. So, as you're growing your brand, there are some things you need to pay attention to. The Nigerian fashion industry can be very funny. I think it's around the world as well. Um, Once you design a piece, if it's very easy to imitate, that's the end. So authenticity is very important on our journey to success and to become successful fashion designers in Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large. Empathy. How does empathy apply in modern day fashion design? You need to understand that as a fashion designer, there's a high level of professionalism that has to be involved into serving the general public. So Levy wanted a navy blue tuxedo, a drafted navy blue tuxedo, but he was very, very skeptical about how he wanted this design to be. I've been designing short lapel tuxedos since 2012, and if you call me and you say you want a short lapel tuxedo, I'll create one without thinking about it. But Levy said, Jason, my short lapel tuxedo has to be baseless. Levy took me back to the first ever design of short lapel tuxedos that existed, which I don't like to make much, but he made it pop. Being able to empathize with people, trying to understand why is this person bent on having this thing done this particular way would go a long way into helping you as you build your brand. And at the end of the day, it speaks good for you. Customer service. You need to understand that in everything, apart from fashion design, customer service is very important. And to be able to meet the needs of people successfully, you need to empathize with them first and put them in your shoes. If I'm paying someone 150,000 to make a suit for me, and the person is not doing what I want, will I not be upset? Yes, I'll be very, very upset. That's where customer service comes in. So personally for me, in order for me to be able to meet you at the point of your needs, I try to standardize my service and make you understand that You're not just paying for a suit or a piece of clothing, you're paying for experience. It's not just the tuxedo you're paying for. Empathy helps you create relationships with people. If you're able to create a relationship with a person, then you're ready to be a businessman. Being able to build that trust with people, you have to empathize with them to get to that level. So it's been very beautiful talking to you guys today. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you.